fair. Oh, and we're live! Hello to all of you who happen to be watching. We're so sorry about the 15-minute delay, but thank you for tuning in to Talk Tuesday with myself, Nadia, and my co-host, Dave. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Asian Dave, aka Fanatical for Jesus, coming from Colorado Springs, Colorado, and I'm going to be covering current events.
My name is Kiana, and aka Birdwoman, and my segment is going to be Let's Get Real with Kiana. So I'll be presenting some advice that I had been asked over the past week.
And I will be talking about entertainment and pop kind of news, or anything that I find kind of interesting. So, yeah, let's get started. Dave, would you like to lead us with your topics?
Alright, so I actually found a lot of things going on. Like, a lot of things happened, like, in just over the past week. Yeah. One of them was, like, in the beginning of the month. But anyways, like, the first story that I have on here, I guess this lady. Are you guys familiar with It's called Eurovision.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. It's very
Yeah,
popular in England.
it's a world famous singing competition. It was created after World War II, and I guess um this she's a bearded lady named Kachita from Russia. No, Russia is appalled by this because she won. And it's sparking all kinds of controversy in Russia right now. Russia, Armenia, and Belarus, and they actually edited her. They edited her part out of the competition because they didn't want her in there, even though she won. So yeah.
Wait, hang on a second. So she won, but they don't want her to win?
Yeah, they didn't want her. They didn't want her to be in the contest to begin with, so they edited her part out of the contest.
My question is, what do they have against Russians?
No, Russia. Russia is one of the countries that is appalled by her.
Oh, they're thinking she's giving Russia a bad rep or something.
Pretty much.
But why is that?
Because she's transgender.
Oh,
That's the big thing. Okay.
I guess that's the part where you described the lady with the beard. We missed that.
Oh yeah, no, she's a lady. She's also transgender too.
Right. You know what?
So
Transgender thing is very kind of like popular in. They are really pretty too. You just can't tell that they're transgender.
I know some dudes really like pull it off really well, and it kind of shocks me. Like, have you guys heard of Orange is the New Black, the show?
No.
Orange is the New Black?
Yeah, it's a Netflix original. It's a really good show, but there's actually a transgender guy that is like absolutely gorgeous in that show, and that show really brings out a lot of like the homosexual and like transgendered issues and stuff from a different perspective, I guess. More positive, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah. And I guess I don't know, this story is kind of like raising I don't know, some more like it's kind of raising some questions about concerning tolerance, because obviously they're not being very tolerant. If they're over like, oh, we don't want a transgender lady to represent our world famous competition, conveniently take her out and act as if she was never in there to begin with.
So Eurovision actually edited her out of the show completely. I don't understand how you do that when the person won.
Yeah.
Russia, Armenia, and Belarus wanted to edit her out.
Oh, I see. That's
Russia
pretty messed up.
and who?
Russia, Armenia, and Belarus.
Oh, Belarus. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that. Second story I have. On April 1st, Japan officially lifted their decades-old arms ban. Like, so now they can have military weapons. And for people who didn't know, but the United States for the longest time actually had a ban on Japan, saying like they were pretty much limiting how many military weapons they can have. And so it recently just got lifted, and the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and his cabinet approve a measure that lifts Japan's on weapons exports. Supporters of the new policy believe that it will help increase Japan's role on an international stage. Chief Cabinet Secretary Yoshihide Suga says, "We have made the procedure for transfer of defense equipment more transparent. Now contribute to international cooperation from the standpoint of
I'm sorry, Dave, you're breaking up.
I said, Chief Cabinet Secretary Yoshihide says we have made the procedure for transfer of defense equipment more transparent. That will contribute to peace and international cooperation from the standpoint of active pacifism." Like I'm kind of torn on that, because the whole point, the weapons ban on Japan was because of what they did after, like in World War II. And they're saying that they're going to be more transparent on the kind of weapons they're going to have and stuff like that. So they're going to let people let us know what they have. But at the same time, I mean, it's cool that they can defend themselves now. They don't depend on America. But at the same time, I'm just wondering if they're planning on doing something else again.
Oh, that would be scary.
Yeah.
And the ban is on military weapons for who? Like, what population? I mean, I know it's Japan, but
For their military.
just their military. There were ban on weapons in the military?
Yeah. America. After World War II, America pretty much had Japan in check.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so Japan had to depend on America to defend them because they couldn't defend themselves for the longest time.
So their military had, like, very few weapons or something? Is that what you're telling me?
Pretty much.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know we still had control over countries like that. That's crazy. I mean, Japan is so developed as a
Yeah.
nation. You'd think,
Well,
like, they could handle their own stuff.
they're developed technology-wise, not so
Oh,
much.
but their military, not so much.
Yeah. I'm just concerned about what's going to happen now that they can have their own military weapons.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I
I
said
love
I'm just worried about what's going to happen now that they can have their own military weapons.
I'm just wondering why they needed to lift that ban. Is,
Yeah,
do
like
they?
if they're doing just fine with it, why all of a sudden are they? I mean, I understand. I mean, they're pretty much like, well, we want to be able to defend ourselves as a country because it does pretty much suck being in your own country having to depend on another country to defend you. But at
Exactly.
the same time, though, I'm just like wondering like what's gonna happen.
Hmm. Yeah, that is interesting. Because it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we as the U.S., we're not in fear of any, that they're going to lash out on us in some way, in some act of
Yeah.
attack or war or anything. Because we're allies, aren't we?
Well, Japan is allies with America pretty much by force because they had to be.
Hmm.
It's
I
kind of
don't know. I'm not worried.
Yeah.
I don't
I
believe
think
the best
America's
people.
biggest concern right now is China, not so much Japan.
I've actually heard that. Yeah, they're on China.
Yeah, because pretty much China owns America.
You mean because
Yeah,
they produce and manufacture a lot of things which are sold in America?
well, that and because America is like $1 trillion in debt to China.
Yeah.
It always
And
seems odd how America seems to be like so in power, and yet you
so in
say
debt.
that they are so in debt. Yeah, to it
Yeah.
kind of really makes sense, and yet I suppose in a weird way it does.
Well,
I just can't understand world
our
politics.
our government thinks that money grows on trees.
A weird analogy with that is just like Wesley Snipes to me because Wesley Snipes, like, I don't know, he's not like this big actor, I guess. So I guess maybe not so
He
much
used to
equal
be.
big in the U.S. But I mean, he like evaded taxes and everything, and like he was like really in a money issue, like. And it's like you think like these stars or whatever, like these big celebrities, they would like have it all together financially, but they really don't, even though they might be such an influence like in pop culture.
Yeah. I actually forgot all about that. Like you just reminded me. Like
Yeah, that was a long
I actually liked Wesley Snipes too.
time.
I love Blade. Blade 1, 2, and 3.
I've never seen any of his movies, to be honest.
What? Oh my god, you gotta watch those movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I don't see movies too much often. I need to see more of them.
Well, I'm a
Me
huge
too.
movie bro. Even though I always watch movies late. Like I just recently watched Space Jam for the first time.
I saw
Wait,
that when I was
Space
4.
Jam? Wasn't that like years and years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the early 90s.
Yeah. I didn't have much of a childhood though, in my defense.
Oh.
Yeah. My mom wouldn't let me really watch movies.
Mm.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yep.
Wait.
My mom wanted me to focus on school and getting good grades.
Uh-huh. So your
Yep.
mom, typical Asian mom, eh?
That's
But
exactly what I was gonna say.
oh,
My
so
parents weren't like that, but you kind of like be scared if you didn't perform. She'd be
yeah.
like, Mom, I got a B.
One time, I literally stayed after school for like 2, 3 hours, begging my one of my teachers to give me something like extra credit so I can bring my B up to an A, and he wouldn't do it. Like, and I was telling him, I was like, look, you don't understand. If I go home and I show my mom that I got a B, I'm not gonna be able to come to class tomorrow.
That's really good.
He was just like, I don't, that's not my problem.
That's really funny. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, my mom used to always tell me, she'd be like, you don't get good grades, you can't be doctor.
Yeah, you know what? That is the same in my family. Well, they kind of used reverse psychology. They're like, if you want to go and study overseas, you've got to do well by yourself so that you can get a scholarship because mom and dad don't have the money to send you overseas. So yeah.
And did you guys end up getting good grades?
Yeah. We kind of did. We did all right.
Good.
Maybe my mom should have did that, because all my mom did was browbeat me, and I felt bad.
Maybe
But,
because my parents were both lecturers, so they kind of understand young kids.
oh, okay, that makes sense. Alright, so the next story that I have, this one's kind of sad. Um, so these police officers it's in Boynton Beach, Florida. These police just got caught on camera choking and kicking these handcuffed sixth graders. Now, for like what happened? Okay, these police officers are being investigated after two cell phone videos emerged showing two kids getting harassed by them. This 10-year-old and 11-year-old were being a disturbance on a school bus, which caused the cops to get called onto the scene. One cop is placed on administrative leave while being investigated. Police department wants to look further into the incident, but they claim that no complaints have been called in yet. And when you see the camera, it shows a crowd of 10 to 15 youth around instigating the cops while recording them roughly dealing with kids. Like, so there's actually so many things wrong with this. First off, like the 10 and 11-year-old, like what they were considered disturbance was, I guess, they're brothers, and one of the 11-year-olds, he has allergies, and one of the bus was spraying on all kinds of film, and he pulled down his window, and the school bus driver asked him and told him to roll his window back up, and he said, "No, look, like, I have allergies, and there's girls spraying perfume around me, and I don't want to die, pretty much."
Mm-hmm.
She said, "I don't care, roll down, put your window back up," and he said, "No, I'm going to. If you gotta kick me off the bus, then fine." And so she ended up calling 911 for that. That was the disturbance, pretty much.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
How can they do that? I mean, the kids got allergies.
Yeah, then that's and then like, what I didn't like. Yeah, I mean that part, and I think that the kids that were standing around instigating the cops. I mean, I understand you're young and the cops are around and everything. You're gonna like get all riled up, like, oh, and like you're like they're just being kids, but they don't realize that by them doing that, they're not doing their friends any favors. They're just making things worse.
Yeah. Honestly, I just can't believe what goes on in the world.
Yeah, it is pretty sad. The bus driver, she should he or she should have been should like that's not a reason to call the cops. Like he or she should have been sure enough to know how to deal with a 10.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, that's why they're driving the school bus, right?
yeah, exactly. So I hold the school bus driver more at fault than the kid or even the police officers in this situation. If the school bus driver was more of an adult, the kids would have never had to experience getting harassed and beaten and choked, and the police officers wouldn't be wasting their time coming out there for a BS call, and then the group of kids wouldn't be making things worse. That whole situation would be avoided. And that's just the way I look at it.
I don't think it was necessary to call the cops in the first place. I mean, kids will be kids.
Exactly. Like, if I was that bus driver and that kid said, "Hey, look, I have allergies and this girl's spraying perfume," I would have either asked the girl, well, she already sprayed the perfume, so I would just have the kid move up to the front of the bus or something.
Yes, exactly. Or
Like,
just let the window be open for a short while.
yeah, yeah. I don't see what the issue was with leaving the window open to begin with. I mean, I've been on school buses, and there's no air conditioning on those buses, so they get pretty hot. Like,
That must be really, really uncomfortable in the summer.
yeah, like all that body heat.
Yeah, I've been on a school bus for a couple of years, and it's not the best mode of transport.
Really.
So if somebody sprayed perfume, I think the whole bus will smell of perfume.
Yeah. Especially, yeah, the like perfume mixed with like body heat and sweat. That's disgusting. I'd be pretty mad.
Yeah.
Now, what's now, obviously this is an elementary school, so what's the little girl doing with perfume to begin with? Well, like, what does she need perfume for?
Oh my goodness. No, but when like you're a kid, like you like to get into your mom's stuff, and then sometimes your mom will like get you the little kid version of what she has, like the little kid version of makeup, or like, you know, like lipstick and stuff, or perfume. I never did it because I wasn't a girly girl, but you know,
Well, yeah, but
some girls.
Did because my mom would spray a bit of perfume on us, and she dresses up in matching dresses, and then she put a little bit of lips, not much, just a teeny tiny bit of lipstick. You know, she's dressing up little dolls. 'Cause three of us. So yeah.
oh well.
But we
I
did.
guess I just don't understand. I
Sorry.
guess I just don't understand. I'm not a girl, so. But I'm just thinking, like, who is she trying to impress? I mean,
Maybe she was trying to impress the kid who was allergic.
she ended up almost killing him.
She better do her research.
Wow.
So who are we blaming for this situation? The perfume or the kid or what?
I'm blaming the bus driver for not being an adult.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree. I don't think it's right to create such a big fuss for such a small thing. I mean, just open the windows. It doesn't hurt anybody to have the windows open.
Exactly. All right. Here's one on a story I found about. It's kind of like about political correctness, and everybody who knows me or who's watched my videos long enough knows exactly how I feel about political correctness. Well, I guess these first graders were kicked off this talent show. I didn't get the name of the school where it was at because this mother complained that it's offensive that one of the kids was dressed as a Native American during their YMCA performance, and the school board complied to avoid controversy.
Okay. First of all, with situations like this, I always just want to question the motive behind it. What is the motive? Are we dressing up as certain types of things or certain types of people to offend someone, to stir up trouble? Are we trolling or what here? Like, what was the whole purpose of him dressing like that?
Well, it's part of the performance. Have you seen? You know the song YMCA? YMCA.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It was just part of the performance. And I honestly, if we're going to think that's offensive, then why don't we find it offensive? Why don't we find the Cleveland Indians, that baseball team, offensive?
People do. They hate that stuff. They hate that there's sports teams out there with Indians as mascots.
I think that's just, I don't know, I think that's stupid. Like, I think people just need to grow up, stop being so sensitive, honestly.
It happens.
Oh, go ahead.
Like, and if you notice, like, usually people that find things find things like that offensive are usually people that don't belong to that group anyways. Like, I don't see any Native Americans getting all mad about this.
Well, so you're saying it's just white people getting mad or something?
Or non-natives, not just white people.
Oh. I think if it's just for a performance or just for recreation or even just for humor, I don't think there's anything like wrong with doing it. I mean, was the person a Native American or what race were they?
Oh, well, this is the first grade kids. Like, they're just...
Right, but...
I mean, I'm assuming they're non-natives because, obviously, it's offensive for a non-native to dress up as a native. It's offensive to other non-natives.
Oh, okay, I hear ya. So, like, this...
What are you saying?
This kid is, like, 6 or 7 years old. Leave him alone. Yeah. He just wants to do his little first grade performance. I don't think there's anything to stir up a total, like, controversy about it. I really don't believe in being politically correct. I don't think there's all so many different views of what political correctness is anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's why if I ever met that mother in person, I would just tell her to grow up. Or if I was on that school board, I'll tell her grow up, be an adult. Like, stop being sensitive. And then I'll be like goodbye. Have a nice day.
yeah,
You
I
know,
think the school board is kind of being, I don't know, because they complied just because they didn't want they wanted to avoid controversy, which I guess I understand because they don't want controversy, but at the same time though, I mean, they need to have they need to have a backbone because I remember when I was in first grade, my first play I did that meant everything to me. Like, so they probably crushed this little kid's dream or hope or whatever.
like just let the
yeah.
kid do his thing. Who cares?
Exactly. Now that kid's probably gonna like when he gets older, he's probably going to think that there's something wrong with Native Americans now because of this. Well, I'm just speculating. I don't know, but he's gonna
Yeah.
be like, "Why? What's wrong with me acting like a native?"
Yeah,
Alright,
it's
so
really wrong, and it might just, leave a impact on him for life.
I know exactly. And this is another story right here that's probably gonna make America look bad. Well, U.S. vet is in a Mexican prison right now for making the wrong turn and driving into Mexico. He had no option to do a U-turn because of all the barricades. Like there's all kinds of barricades, so he accidentally took the wrong turn, and because there's all these barricades, he had to drive into Mexico. He had no choice, and
Mhm.
because he did that, he got arrested by police because he had weapons in his trunk. So they tried accusing him of smuggling them into Mexico, and he's in a Mexican prison right now.
Oh man, talk
Yeah,
about being unlucky. Wrong place at the wrong time.
exactly. This is a U.S. Marine. Like this, that is absurd. I mean,
Are you serious?
yep.
How long
Oh,
has he been in the Mexican prison, or how long will he be in the prison?
I think it's been about a couple weeks now, and there's like U.S. is like they're trying to like because I guess Mexico's laws are different than well obviously their laws are different than ours. Like for instance, here in America, our justice system, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. In Mexico, it's the opposite. You're guilty until proven innocent.
Right.
So they're already looking at this guy as if he's guilty, and he has to prove that he's innocent, that he wasn't trying to drive into Mexico. And
Yep.
my issue is like there's a problem when you have all kinds of barricades up to the point where the guy can't make a simple U-turn because of all the barricades.
to
Like,
me, I think they're just asking for that to happen. It was only a matter of time that something like that was gonna occur.
yeah,
And I feel like this has probably happened before too. I mean, maybe it's just making news because he's a U.S. Marine. I'm not
yeah.
sure.
Could be.
It's probably so. It probably has happened before, but since it was like nobody, like it probably didn't hit the news. But since a U.S. Marine did it, like they're of course America's gonna be all up in arms. Which I mean, granted, it is pretty. Like I'm pretty angry about it myself. I mean, I would be angry if just a regular person was stuck in that situation.
I'm
I
not
think it's even worse.
sorry.
Like that, one of our own soldiers is in that predicament, and there's nothing we can do to help him. I mean, this guy's fought for our country, risked his life, and now he's in a Mexican prison because our country screwed him over with all over something simple.
I'm wondering if that law, guilty until proven innocent, is also adapted in other countries. Because I can't really remember, but I think our system is kind of similar. So
Oh,
you
really?
have to prove that you're not guilty.
Yeah, I honestly I think that it should be you're innocent until proven guilty, and that's why Like I like our justice. We don't have a perfect justice system by any means.
Not by any means.
Yeah, but I do like how our justice system is supposed to run though. Like the idea behind it.
That's definitely an aspect of law that I've never even thought of before, and I'm not even sure which would be better. Because I can see both sides with that, with the guilty and proven innocent. Sometimes I feel like um, it might be easier to prove that you're innocent than trying to, I don't know, you're waiting it out for someone to, like, finally prove that you're guilty. I don't know, maybe it would take less pressure off because it's kind of like you're already guilty. I'm just saying feelings wise, because in that situation, if I was in like if I committed a crime or supposedly committed a crime, I would want okay, the pressure's on me to prove why I'm innocent. So I feel like that might be easier for some reason.
Well, the reason why they have it is like, okay, I'm a social work major, so this is something that we talk about a lot. The reason why it is set up like that is because in the court system, everything is designed for the to benefit the defendant, pretty much. So, like that's what they make. Well, that's why you have to prove that they're guilty because they already go in presumed because according to our constitution, like nobody should nobody should be jailed again. No, nobody should be jailed without due process of law. So
Yeah.
you when you go in there, you're already presumed innocent. You are. So um, everything is designed to prove you have to be proven guilty. The prosecutor so it puts more responsibility on the prosecutor to prove that you're guilty. So in a way, I think it's better because like say you were falsely accused of something, like you don't like it takes off you don't have any pressure. You don't have to prove that you're innocent. It's up to the prosecutor to prove that you actually did it. And if you didn't do it, then you just sit back and be like, all right, I don't have to do anything.
But you do have to prove why you're not guilty. You still have
No,
to prove
because
them. You have to prove why you're, or you have to prove,
no,
like with
because you're huh?
our justice system. You said innocent until proven guilty. So that means that I would have to prove why I am not guilty though. Like on the
No,
other end of that.
I
no, like because you're already assumed to be not guilty going in there. Like so, you
Okay.
don't have to prove anything. They have to
Okay. It's
prove that
just
you
the
are
process.
guilty.
the
Yeah,
prosecutor has to do a lot more work.
exactly.
Okay.
But that
All you have to
You're just
do
sitting
is
there
point
waiting
out.
and twiddling your thumbs and then hope that you get a good lawyer, right?
Yeah, all you have to do is all your lawyer has to do is point out why the arguments that the prosecutor is presenting isn't substantial. That's all he has to do. He
Okay, I
doesn't
hear
have
you
to.
on that.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, the courtroom setting is pretty much like a popularity contest.
it's like
Like,
a I read it in a novel somewhere that the courtroom setting is actually like a drama. It's like a play.
yeah,
So they like to make things dramatic.
that's true too.
I actually have a
I,
comment that
oh,
says the law should be that innocent till proven guilty, unless someone is found standing over a dead body with a bloody knife. So
yeah. that I
I learned this somewhere because we had to do a bit of the evidence, whatever. I can't remember what it's called because I didn't really pay attention to law. But one of the reasons that certain countries use the guilty until proven innocent is that it's they want to catch that person first, and then whilst they're still continuing their investigation, the lawyer has to work hard to not work hard, but they just have to, find evidence that says that they didn't do it.
So it's
And
kind
you
of
those those crimes which carry really heavy punishments, they need it has to be one of those with what's that word? Without reasonable doubt. So
yeah,
they can't even have any doubt at all. If there is any doubt, then they can't be punished. Something like that. I can't believe I'm
yeah,
talking law.
yeah. That's how it is. Also, like that, the prosecutor has to um prove beyond reasonable doubt the person did the crime. If there's any doubt at all, then the jury has to say not guilty. Now, like for instance, that was the whole issue. Like recently, I don't know if you heard about it, Nadia, but I'm pretty sure Kiana, you heard about this. The Trayvon Martin case.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
that was the whole issue with that because the prosecutor failed to. I thought honestly, did provide like a good case, but at the same time though, obviously he didn't. Like, there was still some doubt that he left some doubt in his mind. They couldn't convict George Zimmerman. And
Sorry,
like,
David. Kind of losing you.
oh,
Could you
sorry.
repeat that last line, please?
Saying obviously the prosecutor failed to um failed to take away I'll take away any of the jury's doubts, so the jury could not convict George Zimmerman. They still had doubt that he did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and even though there was some interviews with the jury afterwards, and they said that they wanted to convict George Zimmerman,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't have they didn't have enough to go off of.
Right. So
Like
somebody would
so,
agree.
I guess in those countries where they have it the other way, where they're proven innocent, I guess they kind of it's that concept that they put most of the work on the defending attorney rather than the prosecuting attorney.
Hmm. It's a lot to think about.
Very complicated.
The last story that I have is more lighthearted. I think it's kind of funny. And, yeah. This teenager, um, he's from Norway. He's Norwegian. He's a Norwegian teenager. He gets a McDonald's receipt tattoo. Like he gets his McDonald's receipt tattooed on his arm.
What?
His name is. Yeah, I had to do that story. I mean, obviously, shout out to McDonald's.
Yay,
Oh,
McDonald's.
this, this guy, his name is. I'm gonna butcher his name. I already know. So, if he ever watches this, I apologize. But Steen Yitterdale, Ytterdale. Years old. I guess he was supposedly the envy of all his Lawrence Cock friends over his success with women, and they dared him to either get a tattoo on his butt of a Barbie or the receipt on his arm. And obviously, he chose to get the McDonald's receipt on his arm. um,
They
and
gave him
then,
a choice and he did it.
Why?
they gave him a choice between one or two tattoos, so he had to pick one of the two. And
But
afterwards,
it doesn't come off forever unless you like laser it off.
yeah, I know. And afterwards, the workers, I guess the people who gave him the tattoo, they wanted to ink their own receipt on his other arm, and he agreed to it.
Okay. He must
he
really love McDonald's.
He's proud of it. He's saying he's like a walking billboard now, and he thinks it's all cool and funny. And McDonald's in Norway is saying that they think the tat is terrific.
They should be paying him advertising fee.
I know, right? That's what if I was him, I'd be like, you know what? You guys should pay me like $50 every day for advertising.
The crazy things that people do on a dare, like that's absolutely
Yeah.
like who does that? And that makes you look like so fat that you have like a receipt on your arm of like McDonald's of all places.
Right? And I can't help but to think that his friends, because like his friends probably did it because they were like since they were jealous that he gets all these ladies and everything. They probably dared him to do that, thinking that like women will see those tattoos and be like, ew, and not want to talk to him.
I have a
So is
question.
the plot.
Did it deter the women, or did it become a point of attraction?
I have no idea. That's a good question. Like I
Well, at
can't
least he got his little 15 minutes of fame with it.
I can't imagine why it would draw more women in. I mean, it probably would. I mean, I don't know how the women are in Norway. Like, I honestly, to be honest, a dare I don't know. Like, if I absolutely like had to do one of those dares, like if they were like holding a gun to my head or something, holding me at gunpoint, and I had to choose, I probably would have gone with the Barbie on my butt, because they can't. No one can see that.
I I don't know. I'd find a way to run away.
I wouldn't want to walk around with two big freaking receipt tattoos on my arms.
No.
That's just weird. And like Kiana said, that it just makes you look fat. Because people are gonna see that, like, wow, this person must really like McDonald's.
Yeah.
Right. That must be their chill spot. The ladies are probably thinking, oh, we're going to go on a date probably to McDonald's, right? Because you love it so much to tattoo it on your arm.
Right?
Exactly.
I can just imagine a woman like looking at his arms and be like, oh, you only got two McDoubles and a large sweet tea? You cheap bastard.
Oh my goodness.
Look,
It's like,
that is
no,
just,
I'm good on that. Like, no, no thanks.
oh, come on, Kiana. You know you would want to date a guy with two receipt McDonald's receipt tattoos on his arms.
I'm totally good on that. But hey, on a side note, a random note, I feel like me and Dave right now are wearing like the same shirt.
Yeah. I didn't get the memo.
Well,
Hilarious. Like,
I
You're both in red.
I actually just seen this just this morning. Are you guys familiar with who Vince McMahon is?
Sorry, I missed the name. What?
Are you guys familiar with who Vince McMahon is?
McMahon. It
He's
sounds
from,
familiar.
you
Yeah.
know, WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm big into wrestling. Like, I don't know. I know it's not real, but I don't know. I like the entertainment. I watch it for entertainment. But I just saw recently. I guess Vince McMahon. He's no longer a billionaire. He's now a millionaire because his stock went. He lost over $350 million in stock on World Wrestling Entertainment.
Oh my
Wow.
God. That's a lot.
Exactly.
That's so much.
I mean, like, no, he's no longer a trillionaire. He's a billionaire now. He got taken off
He
the
was
train.
That's a whole billion. How many
no
zeros?
one's a trillionaire.
Yeah, he got taken off that list now, though. He's just a
Nobody is a trillionaire, Dave.
what?
No one is a trillionaire. Bill Gates is worth like 50 billion.
Oh, okay, wait. Maybe I got it right the first time. Never mind. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
never
you were
mind.
right the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's a
Nerd.
whole lot of money.
I work all night. Like I'm kind of like out of it right now. So forgive me. But yeah, he's a
It's
millionaire.
okay. Never
But I mean,
second guess yourself.
yeah, but that's like, I don't know. I don't feel bad for him because he's still a millionaire.
But it must
He
affect his
still has.
That's a lot.
lifestyle. So, I mean, from having millions and millions to just spend, now he has to spend in thousands or hundreds of thousands.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
instead of being a Porsche, instead of being a Lamborghini, he has to get a Porsche now. I don't know. I don't feel bad. WWE is a worldwide corporation, so he could probably make that money back easily. I don't think he's in that much danger. Actually, I think he could afford to give away some of his money. I actually, not like last year, I heard a story. I guess he went into a Starbucks and he said, "I'm gonna pay for 50 coffees up front, so the next 50 people that come in here can get coffee." And then he walked out.
Nice. I heard that story before.
That's
Yeah, I was like,
Great.
I wish I heard. I wish he was. I wish he did that here. I would
I,
feel bad
I
for
was
that.
rich enough to be able to do that.
I would feel bad for whoever worked at Starbucks. Like, I would be mad. Be like, really? Do you realize what you're doing to us? That's all the stuff. Now. So moving on to Matt's bus.
Okay. I've actually got a few things to talk about. Mm, have you ever heard of a vertical catwalk? Like a vertical model runway? Can you imagine that?
Oh, that sounds interesting, actually. What
that
is
sounds
that?
scary. You have to climb?
Yes, it happened in Japan. So they have this like 42-story high shopping department store in Japan, and they put like a carpet kind of thing on it, and they've got these, I believe it was 7 people, 7 performers harnessed with strings, and they are like 90 degrees to the wall, and they're walking up and down that wall in Gucci.
Oh, hell no.
In what?
In
Gucci.
Gucci.
Wow.
I know, right?
Crazy.
Well, I'm just putting this out there. Japanese people are crazy. Just put it.
So apparently they had this event at a book launch, not a book launch, to celebrate the 10th anniversary of a fashion magazine over there. So they got the Gucci, and then they did something really crazy, and apparently it's to send out the message to their target audience, which is women in their, was it 40s to 50s? I can't remember, but I wrote it down somewhere. And so it's to make them be more adventurous with their clothes and fashion. I don't get why having a vertical catwalk and being adventurous with your fashion.
I don't see the connection either. Like, what is no sense? And I don't see how. I don't see like it. Like, I don't see how like, oh, someone's gonna be like, oh, look at that person walking up. I think I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna buy those clothes now. I saw someone walking up a catwalk or whatever. My thought would be, what the heck is he doing?
Yeah,
I'm not
I
thinking
mean, I
like, oh,
guess
sorry?
I
you
guess
saying?
they technically have you moving all fours, so it's like maybe it makes the whole idea of catwalk more literal too, because you're literally climbing like upwards. But where?
They're so like, okay, imagine this is the wall, and they're like
Okay.
this, and they're actually walking up and down and up and down, and sometimes they're like,
Oh, and then they turn around and then go back.
yes, they're literally like straight. So
How are
I
they?
think it must be really hard. They've got strings.
Okay, I see. I see what you're talking about. I get it now. I get the concept of it now.
How are are they walking upright? Are they Velcro to it? Like their feet?
No, they're like pretending to touch the wall. So they're sort of like just tipping the wall, pretending to go up and down.
Oh, they're not actually walking up the wall though.
No, they're not. They have
Oh,
strings that pull up and down,
oh, okay. I was like, wait, because I was picturing like someone like walking literally up the wall and then back down the wall.
like Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was like, how is that possible?
They've got strings.
Or something. That's crazy.
I know, but it's really brave.
I
think
wouldn't do it.
Try
I'm
that
afraid of
one.
so they couldn't pay me enough. They're trying like they're offer, well, I don't know, maybe for $1 million I probably would.
I do it for fun. I think that's crazy
Yeah.
enough.
5 million, yeah, maybe. And that'd have to give me a harness and everything.
They will. Don't worry, Dave.
All right. And then they'll actually have to have like a safety net underneath me too, just in case. Just in case that harness falls or breaks.
They'd have to do that. I didn't actually see the what they had at the base of the catwalk, right at the floor, because they had boards around it. So it could be that there's a trampoline or a whole load of balloons, not balloons, but those like, what do they call them? That the thing that looks like I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a huge mattress full of air.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called right now. I'm just blank.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called either. I can't remember. Oh, do you know, Kiana?
I think Kiana's kind of frozen. Kiana?
Kiana? You there?
Maybe she'll be back in a second. Anyway.
Oh, this is awkward.
Oh, she's
Oh,
back.
yes.
Kiana?
Are you there?
Welcome
So
back.
sorry, guys, that I lost you. Yes, I'm here now.
Yay!
You're
Welcome back.
Sorry. Technical difficulties all around today.
There's two Kianas.
I know. I see two Kianas as well.
There's twins.
The other
My evil twin. I'm the evil twin now.
Oh, we lost one of them.
twin disappeared.
Oh yeah, she's shy.
Oh. So,
And she's scared of me too, so.
Right. You're the more dominant one.
Yeah. Can't you tell?
well, you're the one that lasted. So,
What?
yeah, I said you're the one that lasted. That's still here.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
You ran.
Survive.
Yes.
All right. So,
Anyway, I found another story, which is kind of interesting. So apparently, the Daily Mail wrote that Rihanna was accused of cyberbullying. So apparently, there's this 16-year-old teenager who wore an outfit which resembled Rihanna's outfit, which she wore 2 years ago. So this 16-year-old girl wore it to the prom. It's a green winged catsuit. First of all, I don't know why you'd wear a catsuit to the prom, but okay, fine. But what happened was when she posted the picture of her wearing the catsuit on her Instagram, she pretty much got a whole lot of hate comments, and they said that Rihanna put that picture next to her picture and kind of made fun of it. So that triggered a whole load of other negative comments towards the poor girl. And yeah, it's become a big deal right now.
So Rihanna made the photo.
She made a collage.
Oh gosh. She knows she's famous. She knows that her voice, like anything she says, that carries over millions of people. So why would she do something so stupid?
I know. It's really mean. And when I actually looked at both pictures, the design of the catsuit were identical. I didn't see what was different, except maybe the pose.
I think
Was she, and you said this is a woman, right? This is a 16-year-old female?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I thought you said it was a male at first, because then I'm like, okay, wow. But, oh my goodness, I need to see this picture. Did she take it off?
It's actually on a link. I'll send it to you later. Or I'll put it in the description box for this video, and then we can all check it out together. So
Yeah.
it's the whole news from the Daily Mail, and it's got all the pictures, the collage. Of course, the girl was probably pretending to be a bat when she did that pose, you know, with her arms up, showing her bat kind of wing cat suit thing. But Rihanna's was just the same. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I think I'm gonna come across as a little bit insensitive or whatever, cause I don't know. I'm kind of like I think that the girl is being a little bit too sensitive about the whole thing. Like so she wanted to wear a dress, wear the same dress as Rihanna, the same dress that Rihanna wore 2 years ago. Like maybe probably because she adores Rihanna that much, and then Rihanna takes a picture and makes a collage. Honestly, I think she's being a little bit too sensitive. If I would love for a celebrity to take my picture and post it because to be honest, when I look at it, even though Rihanna was hating on her, one of my favorite sayings is "Your haters make you famous." So, by the fact that Rihanna did that, this girl's face got out to the general public, and now so many people know who she is, know her name. I mean, obviously Rihanna thought it was a big deal. It was a big enough deal for her to do that. If Rihanna did what this girl was doing, she would have never did that to begin with. Like,
But I think it's
celebrities get people mocking them all the time. So, like, I don't know if Rihanna didn't really think it was if Rihanna didn't hold this girl or didn't care about what this girl was doing, then she would have just ignored her just like she would ignore like all her other fans, pretty much.
true.
So I
But
think
at the same time, I think it would be really hard for the girl to receive thousands and thousands of hate comments, even if it does make her feel famous. But would you really want to be famous through hate comments? I mean, it might just affect her self-confidence.
well, I mean that's if she lets it affect her self-confidence. I think she should just be like, you know what, you guys don't know me. I know who I am, and yeah, so you guys can screw off. Like,
What do you think, Kiana?
To me, it's kind of like the internet has brought up this whole trolling thing over to another complete level. I mean, think of all the people who got their little 15 minutes of fame over something ridiculous that they said, and everybody's looking at them like, okay, you look like a damn fool, but they're over here getting money anyway, though, because, like, say the woman that, like, had coined the term, ain't nobody got time for that. She wasn't necessarily trying to get famous, but that video blew up on the internet, and she, like, made money, and, like, she got her little fame, her time for fame. And same thing with that JJ Icefish guy, you know, the singer. Have you guys heard of him?
I think I have.
I think
He's not. He's like the worst singer ever, but like I think he thinks that he can sing, but I don't know if he's actually trolling everybody else, like pretending that he can't sing or something, but he's trying to trick everybody to thinking that he thinks he's good. I don't know, but
I know somebody who's exactly like that, and I'll be like, is this person really singing like this, and they're famous, or are they purposely making their voice sound like that? I just don't know.
That's like
right,
that.
it's like hmm.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but like a few years, well, a while ago actually, there was this. He was an Asian guy, obviously, like apparently, but he was in American Idol.
She
Sing-
thinks, she thinks.
Yeah, that was
He's
so
doing
horrible.
well now, isn't he? It's like, what's he doing? Like, he's an engineer or something?
I have no idea. I know that he
I,
actually really famous because of that though, and he was coming out
yeah.
with record labels.
Yeah, he was really famous.
Yeah.
But you heard that he became an engineer, Nad?
I'm not sure if he became an engineer, but I heard that he was doing really well not in the music scene, of course, but
Huh.
something academic, and yeah, he's doing good.
That is so stereotypical.
It just kind of sucks that he has to live with that for the rest of his life. Like, because a lot of times we do things that we look back at, and we don't have the whole world watching us, so it's like, oh, that was so dumb, or whatever. We can just like delete our Facebook picture. Maybe a few people saw it, and or our friends saw it, but we laugh at it and we move on. But it's kind of like they have to live the rest of their lives with that, and
You probably,
everybody's gonna be like, oh, you're the guy off American Idol, like.
Yes, and then
probably
probably every time they see him, they'll be like, "Shebang, shebang."
honestly, I don't think he really cares because the dude like made millions off of doing that, so he's like whatever. Like,
I don't care.
yeah, I'm the one who's rich. You guys are still living your simple little lives.
As
Like
long as
that,
you're happy, that's all that really matters, though.
that's true. I'm not saying like money doesn't necessarily buy happiness, but it certainly does help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to go and do my whatever makeup stuff if I didn't have extra money. So yeah.
Right?
This whole story, though, it just doesn't really change my opinion of Rihanna. She's a human being just like everybody else. So, I don't know. I never thought much of Rihanna. I guess she has some talent, but I don't really think she uses it in the best way anyway, so.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Rihanna. Like I do.
Do
But
you?
maybe my opinion is a little bit biased, but well,
Probably.
I don't know. I had a friend of mine that tried he tried comparing well not necessarily he brought up the whole like Chris Brown incident and said like how we all defended Rihanna and then she goes and does this. I was like it's not the same thing though. What Chris Brown did was far worse than what Rihanna did. I think it.
Right.
What did Rihanna do?
Oh, the cyberbullying. Honestly, I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying to Chris Brown. Never mind.
Oh no. Like I don't know that word cyberbullying. I think that word is stupid. Like how do you bully someone online? Like the only way you can bully someone online, I think, is if that person like, allows you to bully them pretty much.
But that's
Like
the
they're
thing.
just
How does that person stop from feeling something when hurtful things are said towards them? I don't think it's that easy.
that's what I don't know. You need like I don't know like you just like self-esteem is a hard thing. Like I struggled with it when I was younger, back in high school, but I don't know. I got to the point where I was, cause like when I was back in high school, I had like, I had like zits all over my face, and I was a mess. But like I got to a point where I was like, you know what, I don't really care. Like it just, I don't know. I guess it just comes with maturity, I guess. Like you get older and you're just like, I don't care what people think of me.
That's so
Like,
true. Psychologically, we're all different, though. So, one thing that might offend someone might not offend somebody else, and we just have to realize that, and not just be like, oh, well, they're just a big baby, so whatever. Their feelings shouldn't matter, because if you feel a certain way, you can't help it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't okay. I hope I didn't come across like I was saying like, oh, she's just a baby or anything like that. I don't know this girl.
No.
Like, I'm just saying like I'm just saying like it'd probably do her good if she just tells herself, you know what? I don't care. Like I love myself. I know who I am. They don't know. These people don't know me, so they could just screw up. And if Rihanna's gonna be like that, obviously, like I said, obviously this girl was important enough to Rihanna that she did this. Because if she wasn't important enough to Rihanna, then Rihanna would just ignore her. And if I was that girl, I would actually take that as a compliment. Be like, wow, like I'm so important to Rihanna that she actually paid attention to me and did this. That's the way I would look at it. Like I don't
That's
know. I get
exactly the way a confident person looks at it, but she's obviously not that confident.
I mean, at
I get
16, she's probably still trying to figure things out. 16 is such a tough age.
yeah.
But
I get trolls on my YouTube channel all the freaking time, and they'll troll my videos and put comment like right now I have trolls that comment on my video, and I'll say stuff back. I'll say, hey, thank you for being so obsessed with me.
Yeah.
They don't reply back to me, I'm just letting them know that they're not affecting me. Like one of my trolls, he lives in Canada, and the way I look at it, I'm so important to him, to someone I never met who lives in Canada, that he feels the need to spread my name around in Canada. I'm like, oh, that's freaking awesome. My name is becoming famous in Canada.
He must not be from Canada because everybody in Canada is nice, okay? Everybody is just the sweetest person in Canada. Like, they never get into wars. Come on now.
He's the, he's the only person I ever met that's from Canada, that lives in Canada, who's like that. I don't know what his deal is. I think it's funny. Like I'm not gonna mention his name because I don't want to give him publicity. I like
Yeah.
the fact that he's giving me publicity though. He could keep giving me publicity, and I appreciate it. Like, thanks. I'm not going to, but
oh
because I
well.
don't want anybody stealing my spotlight.
So, yeah. Anyway, although this
Yeah. Anyway.
happened, she's still churning out the hits, and never mind. Let's hope that that poor kid grows up and becomes more confident. I have a
I hope
few
she
more,
does too. I think.
but I'm
Oh,
just gonna say one, which is, do you know about Ryan Giggs, the football player?
Never heard of
Ryan
him.
Gibb.
Yep.
I don't watch football.
Oh yeah, because this is England. Sorry. Anyway,
Oh, are you talking about? Okay, so you're talking about actual football, not. Okay.
yes, I'm talking about British football. I think
Uh,
what, soccer? Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry.
soccer. I don't watch that either though. So I'm not really that big into sports.
Right. I'm
That's
not.
okay. Nat's gonna still tell us it anyway.
I'm not really into sports either. I don't even have a pair of sports shoes right now, but I do know Ryan Giggs because he's been playing for Manchester United and Wales for like years and years. So now he's just announced that he's retiring, and he's not. It's not that he's just completely leaving the football or soccer field. He's actually going to become Manchester United's assistant manager. So yeah, that was like what? But I first saw that he was retiring, so I was like, I can't believe this.
Hmm.
Congratulations to Ryan Giggs.
That's
So let's
cool.
hope
That
everything
is.
happened to Manchester United because they've not been playing well for ages. Ever since was it David Moyes took over from Alex Ferguson? Yeah, they've just been playing really badly. So with a new manager and a new assistant manager, maybe they'll do better now.
Yeah, maybe they can make a comeback.
Yeah,
Especially if he's like their assistant manager because he knows the game and he could probably help them out better.
exactly. I miss those days when Beckham was in Manchester United.
That's the thing with with most coaches. Like a lot of coaches never actually played the game. Like they know like how the game's supposed to be played because of books and stuff like that, and because probably they watched it when they were growing up and everything. But a lot of coaches, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about this. I don't really know the requirements it takes to be a coach, but that's what it seems like. So I think it's awesome when someone who actually has played the game and played the game well is going to be like that, is going to be taking over the team. Because then they
Yeah.
actually have that experience to fall back on. And be like, hey, look, this how like you guys should try this out because this worked for me and blah blah blah. And you
Yeah,
can relate to it better.
exactly.
I'm not much of a sports person, so I can't really. I guess sure, whatever works works. I wish the
Yeah,
best to Manchester United.
too. Yeah, I'm not really that like. I get the only sport I really get into, but I don't really watch it very much either. But is basketball.
Ah, basketball. We don't
But I
get that
stopped.
much of it here. It's not all that popular here. Football is though.
Yeah. I stopped watching it after LeBron James left the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't really watched that game, so I can't even say anything. You got me
I,
there.
I was just putting that out there. That's like people who do watch basketball will understand what I'm saying by that.
Definitely. I do know the name, I just don't really know the game.
Gotcha. That's okay.
I, I think we should go over to Kiana now so that we
Let's
have more time for some questions.
All right. Well, leaving me on the tail end of the show, it's Let's Get Real with Kiana. Anyway, just doing spirit fingers today. I guess I don't know. That's my thing today. So, huh?
You need to get a theme song.
I need to get a who?
A theme song.
Theme?
Yeah. We're working on that.
You get a theme
Um,
for the show.
I'm having a
Just,
hard time understanding you, but
That we should get a theme song for the show itself.
yeah, we'll be working on that. Stay
yep.
tuned for
Yeah.
that. Okay, so anyway, let's get real with Kiana. All right, so the advice that I have going on today, it's a very touchy subject, so just for your discretion, it's a very controversial subject. Um, it's from Victoria from Colorado. She writes, I have a friend who got pregnant by her deadbeat boyfriend, and he is trying to pressure her into having an abortion. But she doesn't believe in abortion, though. He's now threatening to leave her if she goes through with the abortion. What do we suggest that she do? So that's basically the situation going on with Victoria's friend right now.
What a jackass. I'm sorry. Like that.
I know
Oh,
I've
that's
seen like a few of your videos on that, like your opinion with that. I know you have a very strong opinion against abortion.
yeah. How's her like? Did she say anything about her friend's family? Is her like? Does her family like pressuring her too?
I have no idea. I didn't ask many questions. I kind of wanted to private message her, but I couldn't find time to because I didn't really want to discuss it on like the YouTube comments that I received it on at first, but I didn't get a chance to. So,
I would
um,
if she she herself doesn't believe in abortion. Probably her family don't believe in it either.
Yeah, probably. Well, that's not necessarily the case though, because I know a lot of people who are pro-life and their family isn't. Like I'm an example of that. Like most of my family are pro-abortion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just went against the grain. I
yeah.
think my sisters are pro-life too, but that's about it.
Well, me personally, and with this situation, I'm not trying to necessarily just press my, because I don't want to be giving advice on a topic like this. I don't want to be putting pressure on her to do something just because I believe it. But I am very anti-abortion. Like I feel very strongly to it. It is close to my heart. But my whole suggestion with that, just at the fact that she is against it herself, and she knows in her heart it's not right for her, it's not what she wants to go through with. She needs to get out of that relationship. Like, that's a toxic thing to be caught up in when the father of your potential child wants to terminate your like he wants you to terminate your pregnancy. You shouldn't be around somebody like that, and somebody
That
as influential as a father, like if she did have the baby, would he even want to be in her life anyway?
yeah, and that if he's threatening to leave her if she goes through with the pregnancy, shows that he doesn't really care about her at all.
Yeah.
And most couples like that, where the father like pretty much forces the woman to go through abortion, ends up leaving her shortly after the abortion is through, anyways. Like,
That's so true. I didn't even think about that aspect of it.
yeah,
Like, if even if she did go through with it, they're probably not going to last anyway.
Yep.
exactly. So it's like he obviously doesn't care about her to begin as a person, and he sure as hell doesn't care about his like that child.
No.
So she should just get out of that relationship. And there's tons of resources out there that will be willing to help her I mean her family first off, but if her family's not going to help her, if her family's pressuring her too, there's tons of pregnancy centers. Like I used to volunteer at a pregnancy center, and
Yeah.
we helped out a ton of women who would come in with similar circumstances. Um, and they'll do it for free. They'll do things like they'll take them to the hospital, they'll give them free maternity clothes, diapers, everything they possibly need, like to take for like before and after the birth. They'll even like if she decides she wants to put the baby up for adoption, they help her out with that process too. Like they'll help her find parents, meet with the parents, and all that other stuff. Like so, it's relatively like they'll do whatever they can to make the whole experience easy for her. And so I think she should just get out of that relationship because it's no good. The guy's obviously controlling, and he's just a douchebag.
That's what I was gonna say. She's probably under a controlling relationship anyway. Like, even if it wasn't about this whole situation, I'm sure there's
Yeah,
been like signs before this event occurred that he was controlling her, and
yeah,
he might be
and just
possibly
nobody
just,
noticed,
huh?
and just nobody noticed until now.
Exactly. And like this is a serious situation. It's not, this is not just your life and the guy's life. It's your
Right.
future child's life. And
Yeah.
I really believe that she should go ahead and have that baby. Whatever she chooses to do, like Dave said, like there's always resources out there. There's other options besides abortion. Like abortion is one out of like so many other options that you can have for the child and their future. And like if you feel like you can't provide for the child, then yes, adoption is a great option, and there's options within that option itself. So
Exactly. And contrary to what most people are led to believe, adoption really is not that difficult. I know people would say, "Oh, adoption is so hard." Actually, no, it's not. Like that's a lie that that pro-choice people propagate, but it's not true. It's easier. Like the parents who are adopting, they pretty much pay for everything. They pay for the hospital fee,
Right.
for that the woman gives birth. And if they can't afford it, they can get assistance to pay for that. Like pregnancy centers will help these parents do it to pay for all of that.
also with the whole situation of her, obviously she's coming with this advice, so she might actually be considering, like she's kind of like, what should I do? Should I keep my man or should I like keep this child? So I suggest, like, I can leave some links for Victoria to give to her friend on some stories that I've heard of women that have actually gone through an abortion and the regret that they live with, and just like the horror stories behind it. There's so many risks with abortion, and some women, they've even died from it, or they have complications with their reproductive system when they do want to have kids. The risks are just too high.
There's actually a really good documentary out there. You should look it up. It's called Blood Money.
It's
You know
about
who?
Planned Parenthood, isn't it?
Yeah. You
I've
know who
seen it.
Doctor? You have? That
Yeah.
is such a good documentary. I love that.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen that yet, but I guess I
You
should
know?
check it.
Do you know who Dr. Alveda King is?
No,
Is it that woman that like founded it?
She's Martin Luther King's niece.
she's born with what?
She's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s niece.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's the one who pretty much put together that documentary.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah,
I had no idea. I have to
yeah,
look more into that.
she's
Yeah.
very strongly pro-life,
Hmm.
and she also helped put together this other documentary called Alpha 21, which I love that one too. That one's actually on YouTube. The whole documentary. It's about 2 hours, and it's pretty much going into the history of Planned Parenthood and exposing their racist roots. Like
Yeah.
not very many people know this, but their founder Margaret Sanger was extremely racist, and she wanted to exterminate the black population. So she founded the eugenics movement,
Yeah,
and
I
she was
know a
also
little bit about that.
yeah. And she was also it's insane when you actually go into it. And Planned Parenthood, like to this day, um, they have not disconnected their ties from Margaret Sanger.
Oh.
They actually to this day they will accept racist donations for, like if someone calls into Planned Parenthood and says they want to give a donation specifically for an abortion for an African American baby, Planned Parenthood will accept it, and they'll it's crazy.
Gosh, I never heard of such things happening here.
Really? Yeah.
It's
As much
bad.
as much as much as like all these bad things are going on, I still love this country. I think America, I still think America is one of the best countries in the world.
I
I
think
mean,
'cause
there's
for you, David.
You think because of what?
I think 'cause it's home. It's your home.
oh yeah, well that and like I don't know, America, like there's a lot of bad things it's done, but America has also done a lot of good too. Like for instance, um my home country where my family's from, Taiwan, the whole like America has done a lot to protect Taiwan from being invaded by China. So I mean,
Right.
if it wasn't for America, Taiwan would be pretty much decimated right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, I'm pretty like, and I don't know, and there's a reason why a lot of people are trying to escape these like horrible countries like Cuba and Mexico and these other countries and trying to come to America. Like
Yeah.
you don't yeah, you don't ever hear stories of anybody trying to escape America.
Yeah, I definitely don't take my free. I try not to take my freedom for granted, but I know there's a lot out there in the world that I want to discover regardless.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because like we don't have everything going on, and I don't think any country is like the best country to be honest. Because I
Well,
feel like this world is corrupt, but
that's why I said one of the best, because there's other countries out there that I think are better than America, like economically and other
yeah.
things. So that's why I said one of the best. I'm not like trying to put America on a pedestal and say, "Oh no, we're the best." I say that. I'm just like stupid. America definitely is not the best.
Yeah.
Terry said,
Nadia, was there anything that you? Oh, sorry.
I said, Terry said, God bless America.
Oh, for sure.
That just reminded. Do you remember back in 2008, like the whole publicity that Barack Obama's pastor was getting because he was like, "God damn America!"
What?
Like back in 2008, when Barack Obama was first running for presidency, like
Uh-huh.
his pastor was all over the news because he was up here saying like, "God damn America," and I
Really?
actually yeah, I actually watched the full speech of what he was talking about, and they took him grossly out of context. Like, I mean, what he was saying wasn't any better than how they portrayed, but he was pretty much saying a quote from Malcolm X, and we're
Okay.
enough
Wow.
America, and like when he said, I realized that he was saying a quote right when he said, "America's chickens are coming home to roost." I was like, he didn't say that himself. He got that from Malcolm, because like I know a lot about Malcolm X. I studied his autobiography, and yeah, like Malcolm X is so like this is gonna come across as really controversial, but I kind of I like I kind of look up to Malcolm X, kind of like I look up to Martin Luther King Jr. But yeah, like a lot of people, there's a lot of misconceptions people have of Malcolm X. That's for a whole nother topic altogether.
I think I'm going to have to look up the whole Malcolm X thing because I've never even heard of it.
Read it. Read his look up his autobiography, the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to find a summary of the autobiography.
yeah. There's a lot of misunderstanding people have of him. Yeah,
I feel like we went way off the topic of the
yeah.
whole situation.
Sorry, I apologize for
But
that.
Violet's friend's situation, I would think if she did go through with the abortion, she'd be really, really guilty about it, and it might just affect her for the rest of her life. And personally, I think a guy like that is not somebody you want to keep around. He's not very considerate.
So it's a unanimous agreement. We all say that she should ditch the guy.
yeah, I
Maybe
think
if
that
she
we
could
can.
knock some sense into him, that would be good, but I don't know. Probably won't
literally, literally knock some sense into him. I'll volunteer to do it.
happen.
Give,
No
that,
violence, guys.
give me his address and tell me his name.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, so our heart goes out to Victoria's friend though, and I'm definitely going to be praying about this because this is something that's really close to my heart, and I
Definitely.
just hope everything works out for the best. And yeah.
I like to what she decides
And
to do.
I just want to. Oh. Yeah,
Sorry,
I've
Dave.
got to stay updated on that because I do.
Yeah, definitely. Like, find out what she does and let us know in the next show what you find out,
Okay.
or whenever you do find out.
Well, I guess that's it. That's all I really had. That was Veronica. Shout out to Veronica. I mean, sorry, Victoria, not Veronica. Victoria for her question, and I appreciate her support. And everybody else that's watching.
Yeah, thank you, Veronica, for that, and definitely, like, we'll be praying for your
Victoria.
friend.
I think I said her name wrong too. Sorry, Victoria.
Veronica, like,
It's your friend, isn't it?
huh? I don't know anybody named Veronica or Victoria.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, yeah, the only person I know that starts with a V is her name's Violet.
Oh, she said she knew you off YouTube, but
Huh.
I'll have to send you to her page and stuff. Um,
Uh,
all right, so that's all I have.
Is
maybe
that
she's
it?
one of my subscribers that I just don't talk to.
She says she's known you since kindergarten.
No, kindergarten.
Or
Wow.
like elementary school or something.
That I've known since kindergarten or like first grade is her name's Violet.
Oh, maybe I messed up her name. Oh no. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Violet, Veronica, um, or Victoria.
With
Oh, I
VE.
feel so bad. It is Violet. Oh, I'm
Let's
so
all give a big
sorry.
shout out to Violet.
Shout out to Violet. I'm so sorry. I messed up your name.
It's Violet's at the time. It's at the time. She's probably laughing about it right now.
Oh, good.
I was like, you had me thinking for us. I was like, wait, I don't know anybody named Veronica. What? Do I have someone stalking me?
Have a
So sorry,
secret.
guys.
Okay, Kiana.
It's okay. It happens. I get names mixed
Yeah,
up all the time, and there are people that I see every single day. Like, how does
yeah,
that
I do.
work? My brain disconnects for a moment.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I do it with my coworkers, people I work with every day.
I even did it with my boss once. Oh my gosh. I called her by another boss's name, and I was like, oh gosh,
Broken.
how do I pretend that I didn't just call her by something else?
Oh, no. That's not a good impression.
I
Luckily, she was really cool with it.
did that the other night. Like I accidentally called one of our cooks, our grill cooks. Um, I got them two mixed up. So I'm used to working with one of them,
Mhm.
and the other night I was working with another grill cook, and I accidentally called him by the guy that I'm usually working with. It was like, did you just call me Casey? I was like, whoops, my bad.
Oopsies.
My previous housemate, or I think you'd call it roommate, she used to get my name mixed up all the time. Like, she thinks she's calling my name. She'll call me Farah, and then all of a sudden she'll call me by one of my best friends who also works with us. Her name is Yana. So she'll call me Yana. and then she'll call the other girl Farah. But she thinks that she's calling us by the correct name. She just, yeah,
Correct her?
funny.
That's so awkward.
Do you correct her?
I usually just say my name, Farah, and then she kind of realizes it herself. But my friend Yana, she'll just pretend that she didn't hear, or she'll be like, "Are you talking to me or are you talking to Farah?"
That is funny. Oh, I got so at the first church I used to go to is called the Vineyard. It was a big church, and I went there for like 5 years. And I was volunteering on the youth group there, like as one of the youth leaders. And I remember there was another lady, like she was an elderly lady, and every Wednesday, like the youth group day, every Wednesday when we would see each other, she was another youth leader. And every time we would see each other, she would always come up to me. She'd be like, "Hey Daniel, how are you doing today?" And she did this for like, I don't know, like she did this for like 5 months in a row.
That's so
What did
funny.
she do when she realized that your name wasn't Daniel?
I don't know, because eventually, like, I don't know, because I told her every single time, I was like, "My name's David." She went, "Oh, I'm so sorry." She was like, "You need to change your name. You look more like a Daniel."
Oh my goodness.
Look like, I'm sorry.
Okay, so I think that about wraps up everything. With
Yeah, pretty
Yep. We went
we
way
went way over,
over
guys.
time. Yeah.
good.
Next week we'll be more on schedule.
Hopefully. How long did we go?
We went for about was it nearly 2 hours?
Yeah,
Oh,
almost 2 hours.
we didn't feel like that.
So sorry, guys, about that. We totally went over.
Next week, the show is going to be on Kiana's channel. So,
Yeah.
I host. And make sure you guys send her some questions.
Anything and everything.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't have to necessarily be about relationships or anything personal. If you guys don't want to like talk about like you don't want to like disclose personal things about yourselves, like it could be something generic.
Just
Definitely.
ask your question using an anonymous name kind of thing. Mr. X, Miss Y.
Yeah.
Don't like tell her your name either.
Yeah.
And also, I was gonna say like if you guys come across any current events like within this next week that you want me to go over, feel free to send them to me. But like I said in my one promo video that I did last week, I don't want to do anything that anybody else had already covered. So if it's a story from like the Young Turks or Zone Nation or anybody like that, Tommy Sotomayor or the Advice Show or anybody like that, like I don't want to take a story from them. Like so I
So
don't want
your
to feel like
sources are always online, like on an article.
yeah, an article or even like on the news. Like I just don't want to piggyback on someone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on any interesting news and send it your way.
All right, thanks. And I'll do the same thing. Same thing applies to you if I come across like any kind of celebrity news or gossip.
That would be great. So I think that wraps
Alright.
it up, guys. Let's say thank you to our viewers. And we'll see you all next week.
Don't forget to subscribe to us.
Oh yeah. Links will be in the description box down below.
Subscribe to each and all three of us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Alright, see you all next week. Over
Have a
and
good
out.
day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.